keeping you in check, keeping you obsessed. Play me on repeat, 끝없이 in your head. Anytime it hurts, play another verse. I can be a sanctuary. No, I'm the only one right now. I will love you more when it all burns down. More than power, more than gold. Yeah, you gave me your heart, now I'm here.
Man.
Alrighty. You guys
There's always so many cool stories.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, go ahead. Whenever you're ready.
Guys, but what's going on, everybody? Enough of Wookiee's old man stories. I got so many old man stories. I am
God, what an old man. You know what they say about old dogs.
Can't teach them new tricks.
No, it's that they're retired and they deserve to do nothing.
Oh, yeah. I'm not
Ouch.
quite... Oh, I didn't hit send to you guys. I am so sorry. You guys are probably like, what show notes? My bad. Gotta hit enter.
We're recording tonight? What?
Yeah, we're recording right
Yeah.
now. But what's going on, everybody? I'm the one, the only, the WOOKIE. As you can obviously hear in the background, I had found myself some new misfits. A whole show's worth of misfits, in fact. We got the Hero's Guide to Asgartha. Both Chili and Nico hanging out with me today because, well, as some of you may know and probably actually watched today, you're hearing this a week later, but Cole's in France. And unfortunately, Felix is... I don't know where Felix is. He says he wasn't in Texas. He was away from home. And like I was telling these fine gentlemen, Dexter is an 18-year-old child. So it's Friday night. He could be doing literally anything but being on a podcast. That's what I'm assuming he's doing.
I was playing Commander.
Yeah. Do you know what the craziest thing of all this, man, is like this is the first time that Cole has been out of the country. That is wild to me.
Really? I've never ever been outside the country.
No way. Even I would assume you would have had to playing Keyforge.
No, I've never...
Like going to some of the nationals, international games, nothing.
Nope. Never been outside. So,
Wow.
I've been to other states. Like I was in Baltimore. Baltimore had the Altered invitational there. I was there the month previous for the Keyforge Vault tour. So I've been to a couple of states, like Chicago. I was in Illinois. That's really not that far away. That's really just a state away. Mm-hmm. Obviously, we go to Minnesota every year for Keyforge Celebration. I was in Baltimore. I haven't gone anywhere else. That's about it. I've been
not even Canada. You've never crossed over to Canada. You're like so close.
So there was a thought this year, if we did not have our invites by the time the Canadian Nationals rolled around, we might go. But both me and the person willing to travel to Canada both have an invite. So there was no need to go.
Okay.
So
well, that's still wild for me. And maybe it's more America being so huge, whereas in Australia you always travel international, like most people do. Of course, income dependent for sure.
Right.
But most people do have the chance to travel a lot more. And guess myself, I guess I grew up in so many countries.
Right. But think about it too, like the US is like Illinois could be another like country, right? In Europe, right? So like it's we're just split up different. So like states are like countries. This is a very American, first world problem, but we do some travel.
It's insane.
Yeah.
No, it's insane. Like you're talking to a number of the players that are at Worlds right now. Yeah. And they're like, I'm catching the train to Paris for the weekend.
Right.
Or I'm going to Italy. They could go to all these different qualifiers and just go for the weekend to travel. And it's so cheap. I guess travel here is cheap as well. Like if you think of flight's cheap, train is not, surprisingly.
Really?
But yeah. Like at least anyway, on the West Coast, there's not much trains anyway. On the East Coast, there definitely is. And all of them are private lines, so therefore they charge a lot more. They're not owned by one company.
Because obviously we get to
They're
talk
not owned by the government per se.
Sure, we get to talk to a lot of the internationals. They'll come to the Keyforge Celebration and they'll like a lot of those same people. They'll hit all the internationals, right? So like you'll see a lot of the Italians over in the UK. A lot of the UK players will be in Germany, the Polish, the Dutch. Oh, they'll be like all over, right? So it's more of like a states trip for them as opposed to us, where it's a lot. I think that I know of, I've only know of 2 people that have traveled internationally for a vault tour. One was Z, as some of you may remember. Z traveled to Germany, I believe, for one of the vault tours.
Cool.
And then Dr. Sheep on our show currently last year decided that he was going to take his wife on a vacation to Spain. It just so happened a vault tour was also happening. So
that sounds like what Nick would do. Like he'd go somewhere, and because there was something happening, or like Japan, right? Japan was a trip like that for you, Nick, where you went there because you wanted to see the Pokemon. Part of it was to see Pokemon, right?
Yeah. So
yeah, that's cool.
My wife and I went on so this is for everybody who's not listening to our podcast normally. My wife and I went on our honeymoon to Japan. We spent a week there, and my wife was mostly going because she has a bucket list to visit every international Disney.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so it was
which is a pretty good bucket list.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to check out the Pokemon store.
Absolutely.
Which the one that we went to was kind of crazy because it had the Pokemon Center, the Nintendo store, the Bandai store, and the Capcom store all in like one floor of this mall that we went to.
You sold me on Capcom.
Yeah. The main reason why I went, though, is for the Japanese shrines. So for everybody who's not aware, Japan is a primarily Shinto country, right? That's like the main religion is Shintoism, with a lot of Buddhism and what have you. So there are a lot of different shrines to Shinto gods in Japan. And fun fact, the way that you can tell where the shrines are is you have to look for the trees. If you look anywhere and you just see like a big tree growing out of the city, more than likely there's a Shinto shrine there, more often than not. So I went because at certain shrines, you can buy what's called a Goshuincho, which is a book. Because each major shrine, I say, very loosely. Some of the smaller ones have them too. But you can buy what's called a Goshuin, which is like a stamp that says this is the shrine that you were at. It's to this deity. It's here.
The original collector items.
Yeah. They're for pilgrims. They're pilgrim stamps, basically. So that's the main reason I went. I wanted to go visit as many shrines as possible, get as many Goshuin as I could. I bought a Goshuin from the Meiji Jingu in downtown Tokyo. And yeah, it was probably one of the best experiences of my life. It was so much fun. It was so cool.
So there's 3 places.
If you ever get a chance to go, Wookiee, it's amazing.
There's 3 places in the world I do want to go. Japan is one of them. Vietnam is another one.
Oh, I've heard great things about Vietnam.
I really only want to go to both of these places for food. I literally want to spend like a week there and do nothing but eat.
You want to know something
absolutely
real
do that
funny?
in Japan.
I have a friend of mine who just got back from Japan. He went with his daughter and his sister, and he's like super big fitness buff, right? Like goes to the gym even on vacation. I do the same thing, but I'm just not that big into like how my body looks. He went and he was like, I ate more food on vacation than I ever have in my entire life. And he said he weighed himself when he got back and he lost 2 pounds.
That's crazy.
It's a lot of walking.
Yeah. So you want to go potentially and enjoy yourself without having to worry about, gaining weight, do it in Japan.
Yeah.
Japan's amazing. What was the third one? So Vietnam and?
I want to go to Australia. Believe it or not.
Hey, I can help you out with that one. If you need any pointers, connections, man, I am here to help out.
I don't know why.
No, I thought you were going to say something like No, keep going. I just thought you were going to say Singapore.
Now I'm interested. No. I want to Vietnam, Japan,
I want to go to Singapore
and Australia. I don't know why I want to go there. But before I ever wanted to go to Japan and Vietnam, it was always Australia. There's something out there that just like I'm drawn to it. Right, and
cold in the outback.
Yeah,
I'm not an outdoorsy person, right? Like, I stay inside most of the time. Just you see that big. What's that that building you see all the time? Like whenever they talk about
The
Australia.
Opera House.
Yeah, whenever you see
The
that,
Sydney
I'm like,
Opera House?
man, that'd be dope to go there. And I don't know why.
Man. Look, I'll say I miss Sydney. That's in Sydney, so that's where home was for me, and I miss it. I miss taking the ferry into work over the ocean, over the river, and you're coming into the harbour. It is absolutely gorgeous. But you definitely have to go. It is a very expensive trip. Not just that, it's 14-hour minimum direct flight if you're going from LA. So that hurts. That hurts if you're not used to the jet lag.
We have one Keyforge player. He made the trip last year to the States for Keyforge Celebration. I don't think he's coming this year. But he made the trip last year, and he said the flight was brutal. And I'm like, I can imagine. Yeah,
especially if he's going to the East Coast. You got a 14-hour flight, then you wait for the next flight, and then another 4-hour flight. That's a rough one.
I'm not sure how he did it. He just said it was brutal, and then we started festivities because, as everyone knows, I don't go to tournaments to do well. I go to tournaments
you got to have a good drink.
I go for drinking.
Have a good time.
That's right. Mm-hmm. So this year, I'm told there might be a scavenger hunt, and I am down for the Keyforge scavenger hunt. I'm just interested to see what's in it.
Are you part of the organizing committee for Keyforge or not? Because you're so big in the game. Okay.
No, I do nothing with organizing. Ghost Galaxy does all their organizing. I mean, I'll pop up on stream a lot for them because if I'm out, I might as well do something. And so I streamed, like I was on almost all of Baltimore because I laid the old goose egg in Baltimore and couldn't do anything. So I was like, I'll stream.
That sounds like me.
Yeah, I did terrible. It was my worst showing to date, and I was like, well, might as well go stream. They're like, you want it? I'm like, yeah, might as well. So I streamed.
Not doing enough.
I love streaming. I really do. I love the interaction, the connection, the storytelling that happens through it. And you have different kinds of casters, different kind of streamers. As long as you can bounce off each other and you make it entertaining for those listening, because it can be really boring if the people casting are not somewhat entertaining,
right?
They drive a lot of the fun.
I definitely
they'll either turn people on or off,
But
we
tons of news.
Let's
tons of news to get.
There
into.
Is oh my goodness, there
you
is.
You guys are new to this. This is old hat for me at this point. But the Gamefound, you can't do anything with it yet, but it's up to be followed. So I suggest you go follow the Gamefound campaign. There's already one update. They have revealed, I guess they revealed the first 2 pledges, which I guess, they're pledges. I guess I don't know. We'll see how they do it because they might do it a little bit different. They might be doing it a little bit different than how Keyforge typically does it. But we got the first 2 tiers revealed, and then we got a little article about it over on altered.gg. But the first tier is the discovery pack. So you know what? This is such a tough one to decide where to start. And I guess basically the easiest way is with the article because it was Seeds of Unity is going to be the next set.
Yes, it is.
I didn't read
very pretty looking set.
Very much so. This reminds me. Okay, let's play a game. You guys ready for this one? This is very reminiscent, and it took me a little bit of looking at this picture. If you haven't seen it, go see it. We're still in the sky, but a little bit different, right? And we see a city. What does a city remind you of? Maybe you guys haven't. Maybe you guys are big into it like I am. But I got a very distinct vibe. It took me about 5-10 minutes to feel where it was. And then I was like, bam, and it hit me like a ton of bricks.
I don't know.
Nothing?
Elden Ring?
You're on the right track. It is that high fantasy.
Is it your Lord of the Rings?
It is.
Everdell?
No.
Everdell, yeah.
This is, really? You think this is Rivendell?
Rivendell,
sorry.
Very much reminds me of like...
Really?
Altered's take on like a Rivendell. Oh, very much so.
It sort of is. This is the conglomerate where everybody. Now, one thing of note, and this is just my take, whether it's reality or not. So in the last, this set is almost a continuation of set 4. It is the tree that they saw in the distance at the beginning of set 4, the world tree. This is the world tree that they get to, but they get stuck with all the Leviathans that they're fighting and then befriending with Halua.
Right. So
if you look at the art for set 4, this is what I feel they arrived to, because it's the same. It looks like the same world tree.
Very much so, and it's so. This is the meat. So it sounds like after the purge, as I like to call it, because that's pretty much what it was. And humans kind of went, or I guess I don't even want to call. I was gonna say as Garthans, but like people went into like different clumps. Right?
Yep.
Because they describe clans. Yeah, I guess that's a very good way of putting it.
Clans, tribes, whatever we want to call it. Very tribal.
Because it says Seeds of Unity tells a story between the meeting of the Asgarthans and the Rika, a vibrant celebration full of color and optimism, where the focus is on an exchange, the discovery of people in their city. So we're meeting a whole new people
for the first time.
Right. So this is the first time we're not just gonna have Asgarthans. You guys are gonna have to rename your podcast.
No, I would call them proto Asgarthans.
Oh, okay.
If we're talking linguistically,
this is Aladdin all over again. It's a whole new world, right? No, I'm just
You're
right. Exactly.
Oh my.
But I was reading this. It's like, okay, so now this is a new whole group of people. I was like, all right, that's cool. That's what we get to kind of discover this whole new group. This could lead into some new heroes. And then as I'm scrolling down reading, I'm like, hey, look, new heroes. Weird story. We meet Dila and Bot. Dila and Bot are Axiom.
Della and Bolt.
Della
and Bolt. So the Bolt looks to me like is it a raccoon of some kind? What kind of animal do you think it is?
Is it a marmot? A stoat, maybe?
I have no idea. Black and white. I was calling it a skunk when I first looked at it, but I don't think it's
weasel.
A skunk.
How dare
Maybe it's a weasel.
you.
That's even better. A weasel looks like what it is.
I really thought it was. I kind of was like, is that a raccoon? There's just not enough. I don't know. It could be. I mean, artistic
License.
no bounds, right? But I immediately was like, oh, maybe it looks like a weasel. So,
hold on, I'm trying to get to the page real quick. I'm a little sidetracked.
Do you want the link? I can give you the link.
Oh no, I'm creating a Gamefound account as we're speaking.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I have one already.
He's going through the article itself to begin with.
Yeah, this is on alter.gg.
Well, I know, but technically speaking, you get better artwork from the Gamefound.
Oh, absolutely, and a lot more in depth in terms of. But this is a really good outline that they gave.
Yeah, I don't know if you get better artwork because you don't get to see Deal and Bolt, and then we'll obviously go through because we're only getting 3 new heroes. You're getting an Axiom hero, you're getting a Muna hero, and you're going to get an Ortis hero. Why Ortis needed another hero, the world would never know. Word on the street is there's certain people over at Equinox that really, really love the color blue.
Ooh, it might be a badger. Oh, I don't know about that tail though.
Badger's actually a pretty good one.
You know what? Yeah, Tumult does weird stuff to animals, so I would say Bolt's maybe maybe a mix between like a because corgis don't have long tails. Dang.
Yeah, no.
It looks like a badger. I'm gonna say badger.
Badger's actually that's probably what it is. Now that you've said it, I can't unsee it. So
nice.
I live in your brain now.
Yeah. But Deal and Bolt, you can ready target you can tap it or exhaust it, ready target permanent in play, or target card in reserve. That card costs 2 more to target a permanent in play with hand cost 5 or more.
Nice. And just an FYI, as of this afternoon, you can actually click through on the pictures and you'll get the alternate art version of the card as well.
Really?
Which you couldn't do until today.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
Oh yeah, you can.
Yeah,
sure
so
enough.
You get a chance. Yeah, that wasn't available earlier today. So
okay, to be fair, I
think they released it as. Yeah, I think they released that as part of Worlds. Yeah.
Next up, we got Turun and Benna. Benna. I'm gonna go with Benna. Making my total dream deck for an all birds all day tribal bird deck
Yeah.
come to life, right? I'm totally
I've
into
heard you
it.
talk about it.
Yeah, I want a tribal birds. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna figure it out. It's gonna be terrible, but tribal birds.
Yeah,
Right now
start
I'm
with
going,
animals if you don't have enough birds, but you may be able to get enough birds with this set.
you know what? Maybe more new set and more birds. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Munahiro, when you make a gift, you may exhaust me. To also receive it, a gift is when on your turn an opponent draws a card, resupplies, or receives a token. Ignore my ability during the first day. So this kind of goes with the original card from the last set, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, very similar. So, like giving a token, which is what you did with what's her name, Cowrie.
Yep. I was drawing a blank
But
on it too
this is
because nobody plays
yeah.
Muna.
Well, I'm actually started to play Cowrie, but I don't play the way Cowrie is played by most people. Mine is ramp/draw because I'm like, why not? So that therefore you can overcome giving that one token, which is so frustrating. But this is really cool. You get a chance to, like, a lot of the Muna cards that were developed in set 1 and then continued in the later sets gave your opponents a gift, what we now call a gift, but you got an overstated card. Now you give them one, but you also get it. So there's no downside. And if you give a gift that gives, like, say, for example, Aja, when you play it from hand, both of you ramp on the rare. So in this case, like this isn't because it has to draw a card resupply. There are things like that where you can get a benefit and you can get an extra benefit on top of it. I think there's going to be some really fun synergies with Muna, and maybe Muna will actually be playable again because it hasn't been for a while. Not in terms,
but then because you're giving it, you get the benefit again, so you get two benefits. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so I think there's going to be some fun ways of playing this. But we'll see. Muna's always they've had it rough.
I always feel like maybe they're listening because, I mean, like I said, just a few weeks ago, I'm like, Bird Tribal would be dope. And all of a sudden, hey, look, a Bird Hero.
Yeah.
Weird.
Or maybe you've been saying it in closed corners and Kohlrabi's been talking to them because this has to be in the works for months.
That's more than likely the case.
Yeah.
But I try to keep Cole out of it. And then we got Mott's and Hive, the new Ortis hero. Big change to this hero.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, normally you are only usually allowed to have 2 landmarks. First hero that is going to allow you to have 3 landmarks. So breaking that, 2 reserve, 2 landmarks. It's even in parentheses. You can see it on the card, but even in parentheses it says you may keep up to 3 cards in your landmarks during night. But at noon, if there are 3 or more cards in your landmarks, you may sacrifice one. If you do, play for free a landmark permanent with max hand cost of 2 more than the sacrificed card.
Honestly, kind of nutty.
A little bit.
Think it's kind of funny, kind of nutty. I have a quick question for you guys, and this is relevant. Are you guys familiar with a Magic content creator called Maldhound?
I am not.
I am not.
Okay. For everybody listening who is familiar, which might be a little far and few between, he does a segment where he rates commander cards in Magic, right? And at the very end, the last thing that he says, like, can this commander get it? And I mean that in the biblical sense of the term "get it." Are you guys catching my drift?
No.
Like knowing someone?
No. Basically, he's asking whether or not this commander, gets laid, and
okay.
can get laid, right?
Sure. Okay.
Mats can get it. 1,000,000% Mats can get
Okay,
it.
fair enough.
I have no idea why you'd go that path. But there
Dude,
you go.
Mats, I'm not kidding when I say this. Mats is the hottest hero card they have created to date.
Oh, sure.
He's so hot, and I'm so mad about it.
That's so
right.
funny. I actually
No man should be this hot.
So, so outside of that, the other thing that Mats has is he's kind of conflicted. Like he's the one that created the guest style, which is basically the way that the Orders have that hive mind mentality, right? But he is not a happy guy. He's like something's going on with him that's just not computing. So maybe he's realizing what he's developed isn't the best. But I'm interested
Weird.
to
It's
see.
almost like a hive mind messes with the individual.
Yeah, maybe there's some consequences he hasn't told of. I don't know, but it's very interesting. I think his dynamic. A lot of people are saying this hero should have been in the Axiom faction. I love Ordis, so I'm excited that it's in Ordis. But do you want to read through the text because it's very different than what we've seen.
Which one?
Yeah, for Mats.
For Matt.
Matt's ability is so different.
Yeah, we read.
Yeah,
Matt's.
that's what
so
it did.
He gets
he
to
did
sack a permanent, and then you get to bring in a permanent for free. 2 more than the sacrifice permanent, than the hand cost of the sacrifice permanent.
Not base cost. Hand
So
cost.
he gets a little rampy.
Yeah, so basically you'll start off with an armored jammer, move on to like a monolith Ordis Bastion or something else, then the Ordis Bastion, then to a Grand Endeavor. Yeah, so it's really interesting that progression with replacing your landmarks, which is very unique. But ultimately, I'd say you want to get to either keep having the monolith or getting the Grand Endeavor or something new that comes out. But the brass bugs are going to be really useful. The armor jammer is finally going to be used in Ordis.
I think so. One other thing that I think is really funny about this is now with the way that I think about this is that Ordis, I believe, is one of the very few factions that have landmarks that are cheap and good.
Ordis has everything.
That sees play.
Yeah,
Because when I think about it, Lyra and Muna have tough, and even Bravos has tough with Spindle, right? Axiom is Axiom, so we don't even need to touch Axiom. And Izmir, you can argue, has some pretty good ones too. I feel like, but even in terms of landmarks, I feel like Izmir's above Ordis in some senses. Because I feel like there are staple landmarks within each of those factions. You know what I mean? I feel like within Ordis, maybe that's not the case sometimes. You're not seeing every deck playing the same landmarks. So I think it's funny that they did this. I think it's absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, there's I'm sure there's going to be a lot more landmarks. I'll say Ordis basically has the only landmark that has the tough on it as well, Grand Endeavor at the rare.
Oh, that's true. Grand Endeavor have it.
Yeah, so...
But I mean, how much Grand Endeavor in the rare? 6?
6, yeah.
Yeah.
But now you can actually play it for 4. Like if you build up your plan, play it for 4.
Or you sacrifice Monolith.
Exactly, that's what I mean. Like when you get up to 4, when you have 4 resources because you've played something else out, it's very interesting. I love it. I love the emblem that they've created for this set as well, the tree.
Yeah, I will say it's really interesting because this reminds me of what is it? Mana Flare into Hunger.
Oh, yeah.
That's what this reminds me of. So, I think it's good, but specifically for landmarks. So that'll be interesting, honestly.
Yeah.
Interesting to see how this will be because, I mean, landmarks traditionally, I guess in the most traditional sense, they're not, I mean, I guess some of them can. I mean, they're not progressing you through the game, right? They're normally tertiary, right? They're giving you bonuses, right? Mm-hmm. To get your characters bonuses and, help guide you where it seems like Matt's is going to want a lot of landmarks in deck. So you're going to have some landmarks that create tokens or characters, right? Which would make sense to push you through, right?
Absolutely. And there's not much there, but anyway, pretty cool heroes. All three of them really fun designs.
I do like that we're breaking the barrier of just the 2/2 finally. I kind of figured, obviously, looking at the cards, there was some room for some extras on there. So I was like, when are you going to have the first hero that breaks that? And I guess it's now. I guess
it is.
That's Seeds of Unity is
now
this is how we're going to have it. Did you guys watch the trailer?
I actually thought I did.
Oh, wow. For a tiny little company to make a trailer like that I was blown away. I was like, wow.
Which trailer? Because when this was released, the trailer that was on here was the original Equinox trailer from when you did Kickstarter.
Oh yeah, the alternate TCG.
A new era.
A new era. Yeah, it's in the article.
Oh yeah, that's even better.
Yeah, that was very well done, very well put together. Interesting that again, a smaller company like Equinox would do this. Normally, when you see something like this, it's your Pokemon's, your Yu-Gi-Oh's, your Magics of the world doing something that I don't want to say brazen, but like that lavish, I guess maybe is the best word to say. Because that number one, just by the looks of it, didn't look cheap, right? So they definitely put some money behind it, and it turned out very, very well, very good.
Yeah. I think when the first announcement came out that they were moving distribution model, a lot of people came out with it saying, "Is this the death of Altered?" And there were two ways of looking at it. You can look at it from that end, saying, "Hey, this is a desperation move," or the other side is it's a very ballsy move, and they truly trust themselves and believe and back themselves, where they feel they need to have greater presence than what they were getting through the distribution partners.
What did you guys feel about that? I guess I'm one that I've already been through multiple Gamefounds, right? I think, I'm on my 5th Gamefound now with Keyforge. How did you guys feel about the move from, like, we're moving from basically, Asmodee to the Gamefound model, right? Because obviously it's just a different model.
Yeah.
I don't know if Cole has said anything, but we were advised that we were part of a Musubi before this was announced, and as part of that, we had the privilege to get to see this before it was released to the public. Probably not as early as maybe what Cole gets in other stuff, but it was an absolute shock. It was an absolute shock in terms of this, and like, heck, this was the first meeting they got all of the new Musubi together and it's like, what is this about? It almost felt like it was like a multi-level marketing campaign for us. Hey, you guys have done this, but here's how you can spend money on us. I was skeptical, but also hopeful because I'd heard of so many of the issues with distribution. But I also look at it from a perspective, this company has less than 30 employees, I think. How are they going to take on all this? And I think things will have to drop so they can focus on what is the most important. I hope the most important is the gameplay experience, the store relationship, and I would also say the connectivity with your player base. And I think they're hitting the box really well.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing that's going to suffer in this case, because I think you're right, but the thing that might suffer a little bit, I was like, oh, good for them, right? Cutting ties with as someone who has played Asmodee games for years, as someone who Keyforge used to be an Asmodee / Fantasy Flight game, I was already well attuned to the issues that Asmodee has. So when they had moved away from it and went to this Gamefound model, I was like, oh, it's worked here and here. It's still working for Keyforge, right? Some of our main gripes in the Keyforge community is that we were told it was going to be a one and done; it would never be done again, and then they did it again. So I think we were a little irritated with the lack of transparency there, saying like, well, we're just going to do it this one, and then we're never going to have to do we're never going to have to do a Gamefound again, and then surprise, the next set's another Gamefound, but they have clearly stated here, like, hey, this is the direction we're going to go. Gamefound does help with distribution and all that fun stuff. So it for them, I think it was probably a good thing. And not only that, like I think it's going to help them out reach a much larger player. I mean, look how successful the Kickstarter was.
Yeah, but while the Kickstarter was successful, did it actually convert to players? And of course, the initial player base, yes, right. But I think this is going to be great, but they cannot not take care of the store, and that
right.
And my hope with this, and this is just me speaking out loud, is I hope that the Gamefound model is a short-term initiative rather than the path forward forever, because eventually it'd be great that it's in stores, in more stores, rather than just the select few that actually buy directly from the Gamefound or from them.
Right.
But we'll see.
It looks like retailers are just actually going to order direct from, because another one came out, was how to order set 5 Seeds of Unity for retailers, which was very, very brief. Basically create an altered.gg account, and we'll get you guys kind of squared away.
So
I actually saw it.
Oh, you did? You went and saw it at the store?
The retail store. Yeah, the retail page.
So, Nick, you and I may have to do that on Saturday as well.
Yeah. Fun fact. The current issue that I am seeing right now, because technically, I believe as of the 15th, there are certain things that stores are able to do and look at, right? In terms of
stores can buy now, or at least pledge now. We can't.
The issue is that even when you go to the US, like English US page, the currency currently, as far as I was able to tell, does not convert.
Correct.
So it's hard for stores in the US to check on that.
So, and actually, maybe I'll talk a little bit on that. Maybe as well. The pledge is always going to be in euro. Yep. You can only choose one currency when you use Gamefound or most of these. And what it does, though, is there's a setting you can do when you log on to Gamefound that says display when you're going to buy in your own local currency, and it'll do the conversion for you. But it will always be based in euro. And it just does.
I did not know that, actually.
So, and you can see that. And the other thing is we're looking at pictures rather than a dynamic pricing model in most cases. But if you scroll down to the very bottom of Gamefound, it does give you that. If you've selected US dollars or whatever currency you want, it'll tell you what it will cost you for those things that have been released. And that is everything that is additional, all the add-ons, as opposed to the actual products right now.
Interesting. I actually did not know that.
And high level,
that's good to know.
If you were to buy the 2 starter decks without the discount, it's €30 and $35 or close to that.
Interesting.
Yeah, I've been playing a lot with this, trying to figure out
conversion rate,
figure out what
that stuff.
What do we? Well, for me, and I don't know about you, but like, if I can buy exactly the same thing on Gamefound and at the same price or close to from my local store, I'll go to my local store.
Yeah. And
they provide the environment for me to play.
Too, right? I had asked Loki, like, what's the game plan here? Because, I even told him my fear is that, like, the local store, you use kind of the 4-letter words saying this is how we're going forward in presenting ourselves in business. And, man, game stores hate the word crowdfunding, right? Whenever they see that, it just, they just kind of, their buttholes pucker and they're like, this is a game that I don't even want to waste my time on anymore, right? Because there's no sense in it for me. There's no money to be made here. So you got to give the store a reason to, you got to let the game store make some money for them to want to continue making your game. So I'm really interested in that point of, number one, what they will have. Because he said there was going to be certain things that the game stores will have access to that the Gamefound will not.
Yes. Sorry, they still go through Gamefound.
The
but
game
it's just
stores
a different. Yeah, so they will get their
See,
stock through the difference being is, and they'll have a discounted pricing model, right, or a different portal for it. But the difference that the game store has is they do not have limits on some of the product. So if you and I were to buy a buy box, we can only buy 2 additional collector packs. That is it. There is no limit for the stores, I believe, or there is different limits. So
You can buy
they can
multiples
really
of the
be
same
buying.
tier, I think.
Yes, you can buy multiple tiers, but as an additional add-on, the maximum you can do is 2 additional booster packs that are the collector's edition. And I think that's going to be an area where the store can differentiate themselves, is their ability of doing that. They have said they're still going to have promotional stuff, whatever that is. They're no longer doing promo packs, at least not for set 5. But they will have cards that they'll become available for us. And I know some games provide a card, others provide a pack. It looks like they're going to the card model for when you go into the store and play. But like, I don't know how much game store margins are, but if you look at most traditional businesses, you're looking at about a 30 to 40% margin is what you're looking for, gross margin, before you get on and put on all your overheads. So I'm assuming they'd be looking to get something like that in terms of a discount, 30, 40%. And then they mark it up and make maybe 10 to 20% after they put in all their salaries and all the other things. But, if you don't look after them, we won't have a place to play and the game will die.
yep,
Right?
yep. And that was one of my arguments too, is that if you got the opportunity, like they provide the place for you to play, they give you all
So
the
unlike
stuff
Cole,
that you need.
I'll give you the good and the bad. I won't just talk the good, because Cole is very much drinking the Kool-Aid, which is great. I am too, right? But I also I put on my business hat. I'm like, there's economics that need to be taken care of. But then the side for yourself is like, how much more am I willing to pay, both at the store level or at the Gamefound level, where I'd be happy to pay a premium. Like, I always want to support my game store, but in many cases, if I'm able to buy a box for $100 and not $150, it's hard to go to your local game store and say, I need to buy six boxes, right?
Right.
It just economically doesn't make sense. And it'll be the same thing here. The other thing is, if you go to the Gamefound yourself, it's a guarantee that you'll get your box. If you go to your store, that is not guaranteed.
Right.
Right. And because of the way that they've talked about this becoming, print only, they only make enough per the demand, and I would say plus a little bit more, maybe plus 10% that they'll have in store for stores that then will want to buy more, right? It's too bad if we don't get enough, right? If people want them later on, they'll just release some of those cards again, but not as part of a set of this set.
I have a couple thoughts, if you guys don't mind me jumping in here just for a moment. Because you have to remember, I'm kind of the idiot when it comes to A, TCG business, and B, crowdfunding in general, right? I think in total, in my entire life, I think I've crowdfunded like maybe 3 things. One thing that I think is very interesting is their confidence. Because one thing that I don't remember where I saw it, but they were like, but I think it was Loki or somebody said, they've been playtesting a lot of the stuff and that's coming out with this. And I don't think that they would add a mechanic that they're not extremely confident in. Right. But again, that's just me personally, the most, I don't want to say successful, but it is one of the most successful. Like, I'm used to Pokemon and I'm used to Magic, right? Yeah. I don't think that they really have to worry about shooting themselves in the foot in any way. So they can kind of just do what they want. And, there's going to be at least, if nothing else, half of their player base is still going to buy the product, right? And that's very pessimistically looking at that. This is barely hitting a year, right?
Yeah.
I don't think genuinely that they would add something or do something that they genuinely think would undermine themselves. I think this shows a great amount of confidence in what they have planned, which is why I'm going to let this sit for maybe 2 sets. I'll see where this goes for 2 sets, and then I'll make my decision on whether or not this is worth it or not. The other thing that I think...
So you're telling me you might leave me on our podcast? Jeez, Nick.
Look, after 3 years, man.
What do you mean? One of these is going to come out every 4 months?
Every 4 months.
Oh wait, no, that's true. Yep, never mind.
Yeah,
I'll give it a year.
Okay.
I'll give it a year.
Okay.
We'll see where we're at.
I got you a year. I got you.
Yeah.
I want you a year.
And then, which I don't know if you guys heard or were paying attention to the Worlds chat in Discord. I might have another podcast anyway.
Oh, I didn't.
Oh, really? What? I didn't hear this. What's going on?
Oh, there was a joke that we made about how Freeloader and Runefolk should create a podcast called Two Dumb Brains. And it's a deck building podcast. And somehow Thaddeus got in on it. And
that's funny.
Which Thaddeus, as in Thaddeus Chili that we're both familiar with.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, shoot, if we just do a 4-man podcast, we just pick a card, each build a deck around it, and the first one to 3 wins within that pod of 4 wins the episode, quote unquote, for best dumb deck build.
Heck,
so
I'd watch it just because there's always some fun ideas.
Yeah. But to I don't know if this is true, Wookie, and you can maybe both correct me here. I think the positive part about this is that if they do drop the ball massively, right? Like they just absolutely crash and burn with this. I feel like this not having to go through Asmodee is kind of a good thing, because even if they have to scrap everything that they've done for set 6, I feel like they have the freedom to do that now. Like if set 5 absolutely just bombs, and they're like, we have to massively change course.
I'll say this: I don't think this will bomb, and there's a couple of reasons.
Think it will.
This is the first time they are looking after the investor, which will then help support the player base. And I've been very vocal on this kind of theme on our podcast a lot. Is you're now creating cards that are going to become chase cards that people will want to have. And then people are going to buy those boxes and then release the rest of the cards to the public.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be really useful for this. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I've said that on, I think even Cole has said that, is that the secondary market is a little weak for Altered. And I think the biggest thing you have to remember, too, is like, we see one lens of it, too. How many people are at Worlds this weekend? Like, do we have a total head count?
There is a minimum of 1,200 people
that's a
games.
lot of people, right? And I'm going to assume a heavy majority aren't from the States. I would say less than 5% are from from
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
I would say 10.
Maybe 120.
There's no way 100. There's no
maybe.
Way.
No. I think you'd be.
They had one less with Blue getting sick.
Well, yeah.
So
that's true.
now there's
Blue,
only 119.
I hope you're feeling better.
But I think you'd be lucky to have between 20 to 30. I mean,
I know of around about 15 that went. And maybe there's more, but I honestly, if we had more than 50 Americans go there, that's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a massive financial undertaking right now, especially being so close to the holidays. Right? Yeah. I mean, now
I'll also say
that's hard, yeah.
Do I wish I was there? Absolutely. I wish I was part of it. I'm like 100% jealous that Cole went and did this last minute and got himself, and he's working the cast. I see my AQZ teammates that are on the cast, and I just feel completely left out, because I would have loved it, not just to meet my own team, but to be part of the inaugural world event, right? And I don't know if you did it or you went to the first world event for Keyforge, but I think it'd be very something. It's a celebration of the years that they've done, to get a product available and to see people enjoy it. And I think there's a joy in that in and of itself.
I went to our first Worlds event. Funny story, our first Worlds event was in 2022 or 2023. Even though the game...
How many years after?
Ooh.
So the game was released in 2019.
Oh, geez, 5 years.
4 years.
And then, so it was the end of 2019, right? And then you went into 2020, and we had a whole bunch of... Oh, no, I'm sorry. We had 2019, which started the Vault season. And then we were going into the second set of Vault seasons, and they're like, all right, 2020, and, I forgot the date that they had set, but they're like, this is going to be our Worlds event. We got all this stuff planned. They started like dropping hints about what was going to be happening at Worlds and so on and so forth. And then the world shut down. And then the algorithm was lost. And then all this, it was a number of years later before we had our first quote unquote Worlds event. And even in that first like inaugural Worlds event, we didn't have like a Worlds champion. It wasn't until the year after that, 2023, where we had our first like world champions crowned. So it was a long time. I'm telling you what, guys, if Keyforge can make it, this game's got it. Right? Like there is no way. This game is fantastically designed. It's just it needs to pick up if you could only figure out how to get that traction in the States. And I think that's the only part they're missing right now is how to get that traction in the States. They have the traction over in the over in Europe and from other parts of the world. They just need the traction here, and for whatever reason, they're not getting it. And it's tough over here, right? Like it just is. Like we are dominated by Magic, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh. Well, right now you're kind of dominated with what is it? One Piece 2. Riftbound is now another one entering the fray.
Yeah. Gundam, Digimon.
This is like 2005 all over again, where almost everything has a CCG, TCG, right? and we'll see who makes it out the other end, right? Because in about 5 years we'll have like there's no TCG, CCGs, or very few that are still around, and then it'll spike again. But it's one of those things. Like I feel like if Keyforge can make it, this game can make it. So much bad happened to Keyforge that this game is not having to handle. There was some hiccups in the road, and you got rid of some people because, well, this wasn't done automatically, and this wasn't done automatically. Well, guess what? Like, especially with tech, shit happens, right? That's kind of one of the rules you got to follow. Shit happens, right?
And Chili and I have talked about that on our podcast too. It's just like I work technically, not really, but I work in IT. Yeah. Where you have devs doing sprints and they're doing development timelines. And I'm like, it's all well and good to talk about like, oh yeah, we can have this development, this sprint done in like 2 weeks. We can have this development done and release this thing in 6 months, right? Which is pretty good. The problem is that the moment you release something to somebody, they're going to be like, hey, this isn't working. Almost immediately.
Yeah.
Or somebody touches something they're not supposed to and it breaks.
Yeah, and that happened. I'm not even kidding. That happened to me over the week. Right, this week we had something released to a certain tool that I help with, and almost immediately had a meeting with the dev team, being like, "Hey, these are things that they want fixed or that they didn't think about." Right, and they're immediately having to think about like, "Okay, cool, we got to put this into the dev schedule. What can we do in a sprint? What's something that's easy? Like what's going to take a little bit more time?"
I have a podcast, another one. You might have heard of it. I might have talked about it once or twice. That I have a member that is on there that actually does fully work in IT, that does things just like this.
Yeah.
Right. Drazcore. He's a full IT. He's so into it. He's now a supervisor. Right. So he now supervises a group of IT people. Like he'll tell you straight up, right? Like, in IT, anything can be done at any speed. It's just number one, how much biggest thing, how much you want to spend, right? And that becomes a roadblock, because you can do it, you can do what you want to do, but even then, it's like, well, how much do you want to spend? Even sometimes money can't make it happen as fast as you want it to go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You can throw any amount of money on it, and sometimes it just like you can't make it happen as fast as you want. He'll be the first one to tell you that. So, like, sometimes it just happens.
100%.
Right? Code breaks. As soon as you shift one piece of code, the second piece of code's now trash. You know, like, it just, these things all happen. But I think the bigger goal right now is we have it, right? It's here.
Yeah.
It's done.
Mm-hmm.
There's still some lumps, but those will get smoothed out eventually. It was a super ambitious, I mean, if you went into thinking this like, oh, it's going to be done, and it's going to be done right away, and there'll be no hiccups in the road, I got a bridge to sell you somewhere, right? Because looking at it, I was like, this is going to be, this is ambitious and going to be a nightmare. I remember talking to Domino. I don't know if he's still around. I remember talking to Domino when this game first came out, and he was telling me all about it. And I was like, this sounds like a nightmare. And he's like, why? And I was like, it's a super, like, the idea is great. The ambition is great. The only problem is, like, you're talking about, like, now doing all these things, and, like, but you have so many municipalities that you have to, like, kind of operate around. Right? I was like, a whole world's worth. That's crazy. I was like, that's nuts. I was like, how are you going to do? I mean, you're talking like, I was like, you know, the rules in the UK aren't the same as the rules as they are in Germany, aren't the same as the rules as they are in France, aren't the same as the rules they are in Japan. Every country of the world has their own set of rules of how these things have to operate, and you have to code all that. Yikes. You know, like, that's a nightmare.
Localization alone is going to be such a daunting task.
And I was like,
and that's what I work in specifically. Yeah.
It'll happen. Just it's going to take some time. Now, whether the player base sticks around long enough to see that happen or not, that's a whole nother story. But we have gotten totally off track here.
Well, hold on. I will say this about this though, because you bring up a good point, is that with the Gamefound, technically speaking, I feel like this opens up more of the global player base.
Well, it absolutely does, right?
Yeah.
So again, there's goods and bads to Gamefound, right?
Yeah.
Number one, it takes some of the marketing off of them, right? So they don't have to worry so much about marketing. Now, this is one of my biggest gripes. Don't let Gamefound do all your marketing, which clearly they're not, right? They just released a whole video. Hopefully that's like in an ad somewhere, and I start seeing that pop up on my YouTube ads, all that good stuff. Oh,
they've got Instagram ads and stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So, but don't let them do it all, right? Like, don't take the easy road out. Don't do the, oh my goodness, I'm going to say this. Don't take the reproach of 50%, only 50% of marketing works. We don't know which 50% it is, so we're just going to do none of it. And we're just, we're going to plug and pray. Don't do that. That's stupid. That's a terrible idea. Silly. Now, and again, I had brought up my fears for it, and Chili, you immediately hit it too. The game store relationship. You have to have a relationship with the game stores, right? These guys, as much as they're, how do I want to say this? As much as, this is the thing, like, when you do stuff like this, the game stores see it as like, oh, they're trying to subvert me, right? They're trying to take business away from me and just put it, and just go around me, which I hate to tell you, 90% of the card games and board games and all that stuff out there are 1,000,000% trying to do that. Card games are a weird bunch. They need the game store, right? This isn't a board game. I'm actually looking at a board game right now. Quake, the board game. I love Quake. I like board games. I'm immediately interested, right? But, like, I'm not going to go to my local game store, bring my Quake the board game, and a whole bunch of people are not just going to be interested in playing, right? Like, that takes time to set up. However, I can go to my local game store on any given night, or any given night that they're playing Altered, and find a whole bunch of Altered people there willing and ready to play. Perfect.
Yeah.
So, they need the game store. They 100% need the game store. So, I was like, what, you keep telling me this, and I was actually kind of shocked when you're like, it's just another Gamefound page. It's like, ooh, I don't know how I feel about that now. Like, I kind of, talking to Loki, it kind of sounded like, well, they were just going to go through Altered, or they're going to go through Equinox, right? As, like, they weren't going to have...
They still go through Equinox. It's kind of like... They've shared very little, and maybe when we talk to the stores a bit more, we'll know more.
Right.
The difference is they don't have to pay up front the way we do. So it's still, the back end would be through Gamefound, because that's the storage of how much do we produce, right?
Right.
It's still through there. But they don't have to pay up front. They pay some up front and some later. So therefore the risk and the exposure from a financial perspective to the stores isn't going to be as high.
Right.
And that will encourage more stores to invest up front and see how we go. The other thing that Equinox is doing, from the sounds of it, is like, and the reason I say this is in the article itself says, if you don't have any, you can go to your store to see if they can order more, because they can. They're the only ones that can order more, but it will be whatever they've got left in the warehouse that they decided to do. And this is what I said is like, it's the pledges plus 10%. But then once that's done, it's gone.
You had really brought up a point I didn't even think about is, I mean, and he talked a little bit about it, like this is going to give us an idea of how much to make. But yeah, they're going to make a reserve, and like, what is that reserve percentage, right?
Yeah.
Let's say a lot of people don't buy into the campaign, right? And I don't know what they've set their fulfillment cost at, or whatever it is. I'm sure it's going to be something low. But like, what if a lot of people don't buy into the campaign and they're like, all right, we're going to make this much.
Yep.
And
then the cost of every card in this deck, in this set, goes huge through the roof.
Right, and it doesn't meet demand. I didn't even that was something that totally went over my head, because it's like, oh no, that would be terrible. Like, I mean, I can just imagine like it being extremely difficult to get, right?
I honestly feel, and now when they did the AMA 24 hours after release, they said they've already had a number of orders through the stores on that website. So they're getting some, and from what we get, we're part of the Musubi, so we're hearing from members of the community that are working with the stores the positive feedback. Hey, the initial thought was like, this is going to destroy our stores, we're not going to support you, to now saying this actually makes sense, it looks good. So they're probably seeing the prices and saying there is some money here for us to be made where we can have a joint growth. But there are a few things, like from the Gamefound, and I'm going to talk my own perspective, that I don't like. I don't like that I have to pay shipping on top of everything that we do. And we don't know what that shipping cost will be right now. Sure. And for me, that is a deterrent for game, because one thing that they have said is the stores aren't going to pay shipping on their product, but we do as consumers, right? So as long as it's not too much of a difference, it may be okay. But if it becomes quite a bit, then people may wait. But once again, you don't have the guarantee that your store is going to get it, even if you do a pre-order through them, if they haven't ordered enough. And once again, we have very little time. We honestly just have 10 days from the moment it goes live to make your order and make a decision. That's not much at all, which is why they had to do it so early, because they have to get it through the production cycle so that it's available and released and sent to you and received by February next year.
Yeah, that was one of my biggest one, is like, this is, again, for a Gamefound, is super ambitious too, because it's like, you're going to host, like, Keyforge does 2 a year. You're talking double.
We're going to do 3.
3 to 4.
3. They're doing 3 a year. It will only ever be 3. They're keeping to a 4-month cycle. At least they've committed to do that. And I hope they don't do more than that. I honestly don't want it to become... Now, I've never played Magic, but from what I hear, a new set released every month. And I would assume Pokemon is very similar.
Pokemon isn't, but Magic, yeah. Magic's pretty much been well, I shouldn't say it, for the past 2 years or so, it's been like, it seems like a new set every month. So it's a little crazy.
Yeah, it sucks. I hate it.
It's a lot. It's a lot. Like, because you have sets, and then you've got like the Universes Beyond sets, which are sets that sometimes are part of the standard rotation, sometimes they're part of nothing, sometimes they're standalones. sometimes they're this, sometimes it's crazy. So it doesn't sound like we'll have that issue with Altered, not yet, anyways. But
I will say
I'm very interested to see how this goes. I really hope the best. Obviously, it's because I really haven't gotten to play anything high level. Right, like I don't have a local that I can really go to on any sort of consistent basis, which kind of sucks, right? It is what it is. I mean, if you're in, at least in Wisconsin, if you are not basically Magic or Pokemon, what are you even? So it's kind of a bummer. It doesn't matter. Most game stores aren't messing with you, so it's kind of a bummer. But one day.
I do have two quick things because unfortunately I am going to have to dip soon. I have to judge a tournament tomorrow.
I need to go to work
and I have to be there at 9:30.
So I also have to dip.
Okay. So I have two things that I want to bring up real quick. First is kind of what I hope that they do, and second is just a fun thing that I want your opinion on. The first thing is I kind of hope that they take the number that they're going to produce, right? And then I hope that they say, let's do a little more, right? Because here's my issue. I play Lorcana and I judge Lorcana for our locals here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fabled, which is set 9, just came out. And they introduced 2 new rarity types into the game. One of those rarity types caused such an upset in distribution that Ravensburger thought that Lorcana, this set specifically, was not going to be as popular than other sets because it was mostly a reprint set for set rotation plus introducing these new rarity types, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there have been single people who I have seen post saying like, "Oh, we've ripped 2,500 packs to try and get these super rare cards, these new rarities." And because of that, the rest of the product for everybody else is kind of dried up.
Yeah.
And the issue with that is that as of recording right now, there has not been a second print run. So there is almost no product to be found. Game Source cannot find product at MSRP or anywhere close.
Mm-hmm.
Because you had so many people buying up packs that there's just nothing left for anybody else.
Yeah, but the difference there is they can print. What they're telling us here is if you do not decide to pre-order, they will not print more.
Right.
Right. And
kind of what I'm hoping is that they'd take that amount though and maybe do a little bit over.
yeah, which is what is that extra set? But it's only for the stores. And honestly, if I'm a business, you always err on the side of caution. And in this case, is having an elevated price for your cards is actually a good thing for their card economy and for them as a business.
Yeah.
But also, it has to be enough that there's enough out there for players to play.
Exactly.
And I think the difference that we have here as well is because it's a digital and a physical game, the ability of those cards being transferred to those that need it can happen very easily.
Right.
Yes.
At least for digital play. For face-to-face, you do need to print on demand, but that's extra money for Altered, right? Like they're getting their card regardless. And you get your card foiled.
Even if there's like a little bit of an excess, that they kind of do this where, they have the ability to maybe say that there is plenty. They're like, okay, maybe like the first 500 people who order on a specific tier, get anything that's left over from the previous set. Right? I don't know if that's going to happen. Maybe. We'll see. That's kind of just where I hope that it kind of goes so that like they at least have some contingency planned just in case.
I think on that one, you're being a little optimistic because right now
you're right.
I think scarcity for this game might be a blessing and a curse. Right? Because again,
true.
I talked about it earlier. The secondhand market is usually the the telltale sign. Like, there's a good secondhand market. That's usually a telltale sign of a CCG/TCG that is doing well.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's a little on the meager side. Like, I love the cheapness of it. However, a lot of people look at that and go, eh.
Yeah, that's
right?
fair.
It's just there's like what's the chase for me to continue? Like, you know, you yourself brought it up. What's the chase right now? Like, if I'm going and I'm like, man, I'm gonna go buy a whole bunch of altered. Why am I saying that? Right?
Yeah.
Like, what am I chase? I gotta chase something to want to open more.
Yeah.
But if there's nothing to chase,
I want the heroes.
Well, okay.
Those are my chases.
Sure.
Well, but set 5, this one is going to have some chase cards, and we haven't really talked about them.
That's what I'm saying.
But this is the first time they're doing that,
yeah.
Which I think is great.
It definitely will. So hopefully that brings it up. We're gonna round out tonight. We'll go through all the other. They did release some cards. We'll go over all those next week when the boys are back in town. Real quick, the first 2 pledges. And thank goodness Chili did the math, because I definitely didn't. You got the Discovery Pack, which is going to get you 1 Beyond the Gates booster, 1 Trial by Frost booster, 1 Whispers from the Maze boost. Basically, you're going to booster from every set released thus far. Right? Beyond, Trial, Whisper, Skybound, Seeds. Yeah.
Yep, 1 of each.
And it looks like... Are you getting a collector booster, too?
No,
that's not what that
just
top
the 2
one is.
starter decks,
okay,
and then
I
one
see
of
it.
each.
The collector booster has a stripe down the side. So you're getting the 2 new starter decks. Well, is there going to be just the 2, or are there going to be 3?
There's only 2. So they're releasing 2 per set at the moment. So we believe that's going to happen for set 6 and set 7, so that every faction has a new starter deck. But one thing that's different here, and I think it's really cool to know, is every starter deck is going to have a unique.
Good.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
So, but one of my qualms as well is the unique is from only a set family of cards. It's not could be from any of the cards that you have, any of the characters.
I was going to say,
and I don't like that, because it's forcing people to buy starter decks if they want a unique of a certain hero, and or a certain character, and it's going to make those ones come up because you're paying a lot more just to get it back.
Yeah. Sure, but that's also good, kind of a good thing. Also, instead of 1 unique, I think they should, like, these, I feel that these should come ready to play, right? I should be able
with 3 uniques?
3 uniques. Random uniques. In faction, of course, they got to be playable, right?
Right.
Yeah, then they'd need to increase it from more than $20 a box
and you know what?
A starter deck.
Well, would they?
If they're trying to create the price of uniques on average are about $5 each,
right? So you're still ahead of the curve.
So that's maybe you're 15.
You're still ahead of the curve. But this could easily, because the biggest pain in the ass with this game is the 3 uniques, right? Having 3 uniques that you're able to slap into your deck right away. I mean, one of you I saw with the tag. Oh, no, neither of you have it. Never mind. The no unique challenge, right? Like, I love that thing, because the biggest pain in my ass is always the uniques. Every single time, it's always the uniques. Because it's not like, well, I could have 3 more rares if I don't have no uniques. Nope, got to go down to common. Yeah. Right? So now you're just putting yourself at a total disadvantage. Give new players the opportunity to buy one of these and be able to play it right out of the box. I mean, they can now.
That's fair.
But not feel... Because so many starter decks, you buy a starter deck for your it used to be $15.99, but $15.99, $19.99, whatever the case may be, and you always feel like you're so damn handicapped.
Yeah.
Give them the 3 uniques, let them play it right out of the box, then they can tweak it and adjust it and change it however they see fit, but they still have 3 uniques that they can take.
Yeah, no, I really love that idea. So if you buy the Discovery Pack, you get 2 uniques in it, guaranteed, 1 in each of the starter decks.
Yep.
And then the other thing they've done is the box itself. The booster packs to get uniques used to be 1 in 8. It is now 1 in 6 because they've reduced the size of the booster box from 36 to 24. But you're still getting the same percentage chance of getting uniques. I think that's useful. That's good to know because that's the chase, right?
Yep. But the second tier is the exploration pack. What does 119 euros come out to?
I say about 130.
Yeah,
just say 130, 140. 130, 140, but you get a collector booster.
But you get a collector booster. Now, what comes in those collector boosters, boys?
We're going to find out on the 21st. 22nd?
No, we already know.
Yeah, we already know.
Yep.
Oh, I thought it said in collector boosters revealed on October 22nd.
The rates of what you get are going to be revealed. You're going to 6 rares.
True.
Oh, go ahead. Wookie, you can say it if you know.
Oh, no, I was just going to read it right from here on the collector boosters. This is a true treasure filled with foil cards, alternate artwork, uniques, and exalted cards. So I don't know the numbers of each one, what's all coming in there, but I know. Well, I guess I kind of figured the rates would be much better at pulling uniques in there, being the collector booster and all.
Yeah, and the collector boosters are 15 card packs rather than 12 card packs.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And they are all foil cards, so everything you get is foiled.
Yep.
Whereas in the regular packs, none of them are foiled, and they gotten rid of the foiler.
Yeah. Perfect.
Because I think those are going. I don't remember
just
if
get
this
rid
is
of
true
those.
or not, but
just get rid of those. Just all together. Yeah. Just get rid of those. The foiler cards, all those
interesting
silly QR codes. Just deep six those. Right.
Well, you got to keep the QR because you have to make the game digital, unless they make it a little bit more.
No. I'm saying the foiler cards, like the foiler, all those random insert cards. You can just throw those right in the bin because I think I don't like them. I think they're silly. I think I guess buying packs to get them is fine. If I want a card foil, just charge me money. Don't make me buy extra packs. Because 9 times out of 10, I'm probably just going to buy one off a buddy, right? Instead of buying another pack.
That's
right.
Fair.
So you're really probably not making any money. If I don't own the card in foil already, just charge me an extra $1 or $2 to make the card foil.
Yeah.
Right? Let's just cut out the middleman.
I have one last thing.
All right. One last thing, and then we're gonna ride into the sunset.
Okay. If you guys are not aware of it, I will screenshot it very quickly for you, and I will send it to you because I really want to know this. So, the Hex Arcs, is a new thing. The leaders of the Reika, they're coming out with those boys and girls and guys, gals, gays, and theys.
Peoples.
Everybody cool. Yeah, everyone involved. There's one perfection.
Yep.
And we already know 2 of them. The names of 2 of them, at least, and what they do.
Okay, yeah, we know what all 6 look like, though, because they've released the maps.
Astrap and Malaros, which Malaros can get out of here. Gross-looking guy, in my opinion, or individual. I want to know who your 2 favorite-looking ones are, and what factions you think they are.
I did not see this.
Okay, we'll send it to you very quickly. Don't worry.
Have a look at the mats.
It's on the playmat.
Okay.
So it's under accessories. I'm sending you a screenshot right now so you can take a look.
Accessories.
I like the Bravos one. For me, looks really cool.
Here's the thing: who do you think is the Bravos one?
In terms of who the character's name, I have no idea. The Bravos one's the second one. They're actually in order. Yeah. On the map, they're in order: Axiom, Bravos, Lyra, Muna, Ortis.
Oh, I didn't even catch that. That is okay. Yeah. Dang, I thought it was going to be like a little fun little.
Oh, are you sure they're in order?
Yeah, they are. They're in alphabetical order.
Yeah, it makes sense because Muna. Yeah. It is.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they're even the color. They're using the colors. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because I was going to say the one on the end could be Lyra,
but we know that one is.
Yeah.
Now, for me, the Ortis one just reminds me of Storm, and I love Storm from the X-Men. So there you go.
Good point. I've been exclusively playing Lyra this set, and I don't like the Lyra looking one.
He's a weird looking cat.
I think my favorite one, if I'm going to be 100% honest, is Axiom. Just looks so freaking cool, man.
Yeah.
The Axiom looks cool. The Ysmir one interests me the most.
Yeah, kind of
man,
like
that-
the Oni mask with the
That
gladiator
too,
style.
But I hate to tell you, she's or he. I guess I don't know what that character is. That's a field of some sort.
Yeah, it's like a
Soccer field or soccer
Yeah.
pitch, I guess would be the proper term. That's like
Ooh,
a
good
sports
job.
field of some sort.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, 100%.
So what's going on there?
No idea. It's going to be good.
Are we? Oh my gosh, are we gonna get fantasy as Gartha Sports?
Oh
my
no.
goodness.
Looks like it.
Can you imagine?
It's going to be good.
Oh, we're gonna start betting on imaginary fantasy sports.
That's gonna be the next T-Bolts is gonna be fantasy sports. Which
All
team wins?
as Garthy Quidditch.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. I know. I guess I didn't see this. Is this in the Gamefound?
Yeah,
It's
Oh,
on,
it's
it's,
under
it's on both the
rewards.
article. Yeah.
It's
if
under
you just scroll right
accessories,
right to the very
the
end.
add-ons.
Okay.
And to be honest, if you look through it all, they've probably revealed the art for about 50 cards through
Yeah.
both the Seeds of Unity preview and this, which is really cool. Like, what does it all mean?
Not gonna lie, I'm probably gonna get the fan pack, but immediately sell probably 3 of those playmats to friends.
Oh, cool. Then I'll get the playmat off you.
Yeah.
I want the playmats.
I genuinely just want the Seeds of Unity mat.
Oh, dang
Like
it.
the Hexarchs one is fine.
Yeah, I also want the plushie, so I'll get the plushie off you because
I'm
that's one
100%
thing
getting a woolly back. Are you kidding me?
you
Woolly back army.
cannot. Yeah, that's the one thing we know you cannot get from the stores.
Yeah.
The plushies, let me tell you.
Yeah.
I never understood them. I never will understand them. But if it's your
That's
But you
jam,
feel
it's your
sad that you didn't
jam.
get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's your jam,
And people will
it's
pay
your
a
jam.
fortune for them.
The only other thing that I will say is get your accessories from this Gamefound. They are dirt freaking cheap.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
look 23 euros for a playmat. That does seem cheap.
So $30 for a playmat, which is
Here's the
pretty
fun
good.
part. The cards layer that is the altered edition one from GameGenic is 60 euros, which is I think is like $75.
That's foiled too, right?
No, this
It's
is the
kinda
card
like a
box.
foiling treatment. Oh, the card box.
Yeah, like the specific GameGenic altered card box is like 1,000 count, like the fancy deck wallet thing.
It's
Yeah.
$72. That's pretty
Dirt
cheap,
cheap.
compared to normally paying $100 normally. So even the
So-
prime mat is pretty good. Like the accessories here are a pretty good discount than what you'd normally play at a store.
Oh
So-
man,
Dude,
I can't believe another game I'm into has released a plushie. Ugh.
Oh, you have no idea how much
Not gonna lie.
like Lokinox has tried to get this out there.
No, I know.
Once
it's just-
one's out there.
Keyforge released 2 plushies, and people went absolutely
Nuts.
bananas over them.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I will be surprised if the plushie is not the best selling thing in this Gamefound.
It 100% will be.
100%.
Like I'm not.
But from an
like,
accessory perspective, you're going to buy more boxes, right? For sure.
no,
But
no.
I mean, from
this
accessories.
thing will
Nope.
outsell boxes by
I
units
almost
and dollars.
guarantee.
Like
yeah,
for whatever
gonna make-
reason, people lose their ever loving mind over plushies.
hand over fist, they're gonna make
Like,
money off these plushies.
They released the Fuzzy Gruen plushie and the Flumph plushie for Keyforge, and people and every time when because they still have a bunch of them left over that they'll give out at like big events and whatnot, and every time one of those is up for grabs, people just like loot. They do whatever is necessary to get them, and it is so silly. I'm just like, guys, it's a plushie. Like, I don't see, because for me, like, I buy a plushie, it's gonna sit in my kid's plushie net that's in the corner of their room, and it'll never see the light of day. I guess, I don't know. Like, that's just me.
Oh, trust me, I have plushies galore in my house. Chili can tell you.
I've never been a stuffed
They're
animal
everywhere.
person.
It's
It's
not
not
me.
for
It's
me.
my wife.
Mm.
It's my wife. And you know what? I'm kind of here for it because she bought me a plushie last night, and I sleep with that thing now.
Well,
Oh, cool. I know
It's so
we're about to go, but I think I want to reiterate something that's on the marketing for Gamefound that I think is good to know in terms of the reach that this game has had. So they've said millions of cards are scanned every month. because I know there's a question on how much is actually scanned, how much is just tabletop, right? 1.5 million games played on BGA. That is ridiculous.
In a year, not bad.
600,000 transactions have occurred on the marketplace already. 20,000 POD cards have been printed, and 3,000 new accounts are created each month. So, from a perspective of is the game growing? Yes.
Where are these
Is it
people?
what they want? I don't know.
The
thing is, it's mostly online. Europe.
It's we know it's big in Europe. I mean, every time they have an event, it's always 1,200 people, 1,500 people. It's always just they have mass amounts of people in Europe, and Europe is huge.
Shot.
Well, Europe is huge into board gaming, and this This is a card game for board gamers, right? Same thing as Keyforge. It is a card. It is a board game that is played with a deck of cards, right? For all intents and purposes. So,
oh my god,
what are you? You're freaking out over there?
No.
Right? Do you need help?
Okay, no.
Now you know what I feel like every time I have a podcast with him. He gets excited. I love it.
Like, no. You having a stroke or what's going on?
I genuinely I am. I did the math, right? Okay. You said 1.5 million games played on BGA to date, right?
Yep.
That's not including in stores, just on BGA. If you do the math, 1.5 million, this is just off of the baseline of 1.5, right? If you divide that by a full year, that is 4,000 games played a day.
Yep.
That blows my mind.
What's that played every hour?
You divide that, let's see, 360.
171. Just under 200 games an hour.
All right, well, dang. I didn't realize. Oh, wait, I'm dealing with an accountant.
So that means any hour you go on, any single day, yeah, it's just under 200 games are being played.
At minimum. Yeah. At a minimum.
Yeah.
And one thing. Wow. But eventually, the platform for BGA is not the most stable. Like, it's not made for competitive gaming. It's made for casual gaming, and we like that they've using it as a very much competitive centric. The future of Altered is very much hand in hand with BGA in terms of tournament structures and getting places for worlds.
Yeah.
So very.
I think that's why they dropped pre-releases.
I think that's a bad move. Pre-release is one of your best chances of bringing new people in.
You guys want to know why I think they dropped pre-releases?
Go ahead.
Tell me why.
It's Asmodee.
100%.
Asmodee dropped. So Asmodee is well known for doing this. They really dropped the ball on pre-releases, right? I know you guys had it. You had some stores that had, hey, it's pre-release weekend, and I have no kits. Sweet.
Yep.
Hey, it's pre-release weekend. I have 2 kits. So I literally could have 2 people play in the pre-release, right? So you have enough of those, and the store goes, well, why am I going to do a pre-release? I'm gonna order them, and then I'm going to get 2 kits, and then maybe some of them show up later, maybe they don't, but by the time I get them, now I'm stuck with pre-release kits.
Yeah, and you know what, though? If you are going to buy, and I actually think it's better to buy a pre-release kit than it is to buy a box, because it almost costs you the same for 36 packs in the pre-release or 35 packs in pre-release or 36 packs in the box, because you get more uniques.
You do.
Because you're guaranteed it unique.
You're guaranteed it unique.
I think you might see it come back in 6 or 7.
I think so too. I think people are, think, remember, we've got to also say this happened so quickly from at least when they were advised, like, to create a pre-release kit. But the thing that we also heard is there's no Tumult kit for the set 4 because of the relationship with Asmodee. It felt like it was just like, screw you guys, we're not going to do it because you're leaving, whatever it was.
Probably exactly what it was. And I'll tell you I really, 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 there's not going to be, I think you'll see pre-releases come back next set, or because of Gamefound and store release, if they could get it all in a certain way, right? Because we don't have pre-releases in Keyforge anymore. We did for the first time, and then we didn't because basically Gamefound is your pre-release, right? Because the Gamefound typically comes out before store release. I know they said they plan on doing it all at the same time. We'll see how that goes.
So Altered have said they're going to give the stores their product first. So therefore,
but how do you ship it a month up? Like I want to know the see. I know
no
you can
idea.
say that, but
That's a good question.
I want the logistics in that, right? So what? I ship. So week 1, I shipped the store their product. Week 2, I shipped everyone else their product. All right, so it's January, I'm shipping store product, and February, I'm shipping people their product. I need more context there, because I'll guarantee you they just... It was number 1, the relationship, everything that went crazy with Asmodee, and number 2, the logistics of shipping to stores and people. There's no way to guarantee. I know you can say that they're going to get the stores are going to get their stuff first. That's great. I don't know if they can guarantee that.
That's true. They cannot guarantee. And actually, it is exactly what Eric said. Is like, hey, our plan is for this, but we can't guarantee it because we also don't know if shipping. Like, this is the first time they're trying it. And I don't hope we're a little bit patient with it. But at the same time, like if you show up to an event and the store hasn't got their product, you're going to feel like completely demoralized.
Right. Yep.
Because you came for a new set. Now, I hope the stores do something that I've seen other games do, or at least some of the stores do, is a week beforehand, they'll if they haven't received their product, they'll just say, we're going to defer it for the following week.
Sure.
And have the pre-release another day, unfortunately. But at least you're not coming to the event without that prior knowledge.
But you might definitely see them come back for sure. That they might, once they get...
I hope so. Such a good kit.
This was so hasty. You know, I would love to be able to fly on the wall when this whole thing went down, right? Because I kind of got an idea, because I do have some ins with the Keyforge guys, who, weird story, also left Asmodee to do their own thing because Asmodee was really dropping the ball. So it's just I want to know you ask the questions when you have them on here, and then they go, we don't know, or I can't talk about that, and it's like
yeah.
So
I will say, the only thing I will say negatively about Asmodee is, look, man, not everybody's going to play Star Wars.
That's their hope, but
I love Star Wars.
It's Star Wars Unlimited.
Star Wars.
No, but I love Star Wars as a franchise and everything associated to it. But even playing the game was fun. But one thing, I lost my love out of it, like after set 3. But it's people love the game. So if they love the game, then it's good. The hard part is they basically put all their eggs into that game
and they're shoving it down people's throats.
Well,
and it's kind of getting annoying.
But at what time are Asmodee? See, it's another Asmodee thing, right? They did
it's my only
Destiny.
thing.
Do you remember? Does anybody remember Star Wars Destiny?
Yeah.
And then
that died. It was a decent game.
And it didn't die. They killed it.
Yeah, they decided to stop supporting it.
They just decided that they weren't going to support it anymore, and it was completely out of left field. And it's Asmodee is such a flavor of the month company, right? And as soon as something doesn't go their way, they're like, "Well, fuck that. What do we got in the hopper, right? What are we going to push now?" And they go push.
Just one thing: the relationship between Equinox and Asmodee is not fractured or stopped everywhere. So one thing of note, like Chile is still going to be distributed by Asmodee. They have a really strong relationship. I believe Southeast Asia is as well, just because they just don't have the distribution network there to make it work. And they have a really good relationship. They work really well, unlike what we've seen, or at least what we've heard from the relationship here in the States and the stores. Other countries seem to do better than the North American side.
I was gonna say, to be honest with you, for at least the North American side, there's nowhere to go but up. That's how I agree.
I agree.
That's how I honestly feel. There is nowhere to go but up. Asmodee North America, I have made my thoughts well known on them. They are hot trash on a good day. At their best, they are just garbage. You don't even want to see them at their worst day. So, I mean, I really wonder if the tipping point, and I said we were going to get out here a while ago, and I swear we will.
I know, it's been half an hour of farewells.
I think the end of the honeymoon, I guess is the only way I'm going to say it. What was that? Was that PAX East?
Mm-hmm.
Where they went and GameGenic was just like, oh yeah, we don't have your mats and we don't have this and we don't have that and all the stuff that we told you we were going to have, we got none of it. So good luck, and kind of walked away.
Yeah,
I think that was the
wait.
the final
Seriously,
straw.
that's what happened?
Yeah,
they told him a few weeks before the event, not on the event. That they
it wasn't
hadn't
on the
gotten
event,
around
but
to making it.
at a few weeks, it might as well have been the same day, right?
Yeah, but then also, like, in terms of this, I can say this because I wasn't there, and I'm just hearing from a whole bunch of people, so they can decide to get after me, and they can say it's hearsay, whatever. But there was also, like, they were given no people, no preparation, no anything. Hey, do what you can with what you've got. Good luck, kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And that's normally when you go through the distributor, they're meant to actually provide the storefront, and they had Cole and whoever else was there. And I always mentioned Cole. Blue was there as well, Simon, just trying to do their best to help out.
Keep it all together.
Like, free labor to help with the game, when that should have been the responsibility of the store of the distributor, outside of just saying, this is your table, right?
Right.
Are you kidding me?
Nope.
No. Yeah, this is, from my understanding, it was the same way. It was literally like, here's your tables. And they're like, oh, what about this? And they're like, nah. And they're like, well, what about this? Well,
no, okay, wait. Was that GameGenic or was that Asmodee?
It's Asmodee.
A little column. Well, I mean, GameGenic is Asmodee.
Column A, column B.
Right, little column A.
But Asmodee is the distributor, is the one that blocks the tables and sets everything up.
Right.
Because they're the ones that buy the seats. But anyway, once again, like,
absolutely bent. Are you kidding me?
No. But if you look at it from a business perspective, do you focus? Now, you should never not help, but do you focus on your 90% cash cow, or do you focus on your 5-10% maybes? Like, in business, it's you still have to do something,
right?
But it felt like they just completely did nothing, right?
Right, they just didn't do anything, and I completely understand that. Like, okay, Star Wars, you got all your eggs in the Star Wars basket, but don't make promises you can't deliver on, right? Like,
look, in my opinion,
if they were like, we're not going to do this, like, let them know and like give them the rights and the freedom to go to another company to like get something done, because. I mean, I can only imagine, 2 weeks prior, you're like, nope, we don't have any of your stuff. And it's like, well, what happened? And they're just like, we just didn't do it.
Now,
like, if I went to my boss, if we all went to our bosses tomorrow, right? And they're like, hey, did you do your work? And we're like, yeah, totally got the order, but no. Like, we're all looking for new jobs, right? Like, and I think that's kind of what happened here, was like, this ain't going the way we thought it would.
On the other side, we're going to get a chance to see how Equinox does it on their own. They have advised today that they're going to do Spiel on their own. So we'll see how that operates for them at the end of October. Maybe it's not on their own. Maybe Equinox is still helping them. But since they're promoting Set 5, they may not.
No, as far as I understand that, like, that whole thing, and that was one of the things earlier I was going to say, is that's going to be the big hit. Is now they're not going to be at the PAX East. They're not going to be at Gen Cons. They're not going to, or, Equinox might not be there. The Lokis and this and that and everything else might not be there to do it. So they'll have to figure out a different way of doing it. Yeah, no,
it's interesting.
But Spiel's like right next door, right? Like, that's literally a hop, skip, and jump away. So
now I'll say that, like, if Equinox asked, and I'll use AWOL as kind of the team, given they're probably the biggest presence here in the States, to do some of it, and a few of us work together to do it, would we be willing to do it if they at least, absolutely. In many cases, many of us would do it. Exactly, do it for free, as long as our flights and accommodation and food is covered.
You don't even I don't need to get paid. Just pay for my
Yeah,
hotel,
just
pay for my flight.
hotel, and the flights.
That's all I need. I'll figure
Here's
out
the
my
thing,
own.
pay for
food
one or
on
the
that.
other. With
No,
me, pay for one or the other, and I'm fine with that. That's just for me. Just for me.
Okay, but I'll say, like, if you're running a legitimate business, you got to at least cover that.
Right.
I may not pay you, and they can pay us through product. I think most of us would be happy with product, right?
I would be thrilled with product. I don't need product though. Pay for my flight, pay for my hotel, and tell you what, I'll room with Cole, right? Like, you know what I mean?
100%.
But bunk 2 up. I mean, shoot, there's 4 of us in one room for
Look,
KFC.
I got a basement and I got a guest bedroom.
Right.
So if you guys want to do an event in Utah, I got space. Trust me.
I'm just saying, like,
you know,
we'll figure this out, right? Like, there's plenty of floor space. You know, like, I got an air mattress, and I'll blow that up on the floor and sleep on the floor, and, you know, Cole on one side, one of you guys, whatever. You know, I'm good, right? Like, it's just pay for my flight, pay for my hotel. I'll figure out the food. Because, I mean, literally the hotel rooms are just a place to put your stuff when you're not, you know, sleeping anyways.
Yeah, 100%. Now that I know all this stuff about Asmodee, by the way, I know, I'm so sorry. I know we all have to go to bed. We're all very busy.
You're the one
people.
who's got to judge a tournament tomorrow. So.
I know, it's horrible,
crazy.
I mean, I do get store credit, which is fine. It makes me wonder now about like the contract between Asmodee and Equinox, and even though Asmodee probably acted in bad faith, if they were able to like squirm their way out of a non-compete or like put their foot down on a non-compete, and that's why Gamefound is the only option that they have right now.
Well, who are they going to compete with?
PS,
like
they still own part of Equinox. Just so you know, they are an owner of Equinox. So why would you shoot yourself in the foot for a company you partially own?
Well, they're an investor. I don't think they're an owner.
Yeah.
I thought that they got given certain shares into the company.
They probably have certain
wrong.
shares into the company, but just an investment. But yeah, I mean, they do. I don't think they own it. I would have to ask Cole.
We have
Cole
gone
about this.
everywhere and anywhere on this cast
we were
today.
like,
this
hey, we're going to do the Gamefound.
Yeah.
We're just going to do the Gamefound. Look at this nice, simple outline, and it just kind of went all over the place.
Yeah, I'm sorry we didn't follow your
wonder.
script.
Yeah,
all right.
It makes me wonder like what kind of legal ramifications there were, and like if maybe that's why they have to go Gamefound and not through another distribution company.
Well, because they're allowed to distribute through other distribution companies.
Yeah.
They're allowed to go through other people. There's no stopping them. But Gamefound, because this is one of the questions I asked Loki when he was on. Gamefound is just kind of giving them the idea, and like Chili said earlier, like it's giving them the idea because again, small company, right? You don't want to mass overproduce.
That's fair.
You want to kind of get a grip on what the market wants. Produce what the market wants, plus a little bit extra, right? And then that's it. And then you can either move on to your next set or shut down production. Because again, you produce too much and flood the market with this stuff. Well, if nobody can give it away, it's worth $0 to the stores, to you, to anybody. And if a store can't sell it, guess what? They're probably not buying the next set. So
that's probably a good point,
right? Yeah, so
that's true. No, that's a good point.
They're using it as a gauge, and I was like, that really actually makes financial and fiscal sense. Like using it as that gauge to be like, oh, this is how much we need to produce, and we're kind of going to go from there. So
trying to make good financial decisions.
Somebody's got it because it ain't me.
Yeah, playing card games is not a good financial decision in most cases.
Yeah,
not long.
But it is fun. It is fun. I'll say this for me. This game has been a nice release, a nice detractor to just the regular day to day, and so
I give it
it's
2
worth
sets.
the money.
Give it 2 sets of this. See what happens.
Jeez,
Nick. You just said you were giving it a year.
Which is roughly 2 sets.
No, it's
3
4.
sets.
We've already been through the math on this. It's 4 sets. We already did the math. You got to stay at least the next.
I'm bad at math. That's why I'm a linguist.
Okay, well, fair enough. But that's going to do it for us this week. Thank you so much to Chili and Nico for coming on. Make sure you guys go check out Heroes Guide to Asgartha. Also, don't forget to check out the Patreon. Cole needs $1 because he's got baguettes to buy while he's over in France. And make sure you go check out our sponsor, W.GG. if you're tired like I am and need an energy boost, you can go get w.gg. Give you all the clean energy you can need with their new flavor, s'mores. I'll be checking it out shortly once it's delivered at my doorstep to give you guys a review or just tell you that it tastes like s'mores and I like it because I like s'mores. But with that being said, we will see you all next week.
Bye.
Bye.